Hello my fellow gladiators, spectators and warriors. It has been a while since I have kept updated with you, but this week we are weighing in around 214 pounds. Let us see what we've been up to in this episode of Awakening Hercules.
213.8 minus around 4 pounds or so for the camera. These are the extra stats. This body fat about 18%. It's probably say I'm a little bit lower because I'm holding a camera right now, so it's probably throwing it off a little bit. There's my water, my muscle, and my bone density. But yeah, I want to show you guys this scale because this is from Vanity Planet, the same company that does the toothbrush that I've shown you before. And I just think this is a really cool scale because it offers you so many extra little features. It allows you to set up like 8 different profiles of your stats so that it is more accurately weighing you. And then it offers you all these extra factors like your body fat, bone density, water, etc. As you're moving along and progressing, you can see different factors changing as well as your actual weight, so you can see how you are progressing. Of course, these things are never accurate to the perfect T, but the idea is that week by week you can compare those different factors like body fat percentage, and you can see how your body has changed over the course of 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe you've added a percent or taken off a percent of body fat. Anyways, I like to feature stuff that I think is actually useful and stuff that I actually use on the channel. So this one is from Vanity Planet and it's called the Body Analyzer Scale, and you can get a big fat old discount by using my code right here. Link is in the description. Check it out.
My name is Noelle Zwollen. I own Move for Sport and Life. We are a business that is based off of corrective science. We specialize in helping people move in whatever sport, whatever they want to do, maximal force production and reduction of pain. A couple different things are happening when we're looking at kinetic chain dysfunction, and where we started with Brian is there's a big rotation going on in the pelvis as well as the anterior pelvic tilt. So one of the things that's been primary is how do we get the foundation to be a place that the upper body and the stability of the scapula can move off of. So number one, making sure that the pelvis and the hips are moving at the same rate, that he's using all the muscles evenly, as well as engaging the abdominal chain that stabilizes the spine. So once we get that stabilization going, as you can think of, anything in the arm complex is going to work off of whatever stability we've built in the pelvis. So when Brian first came to us, the lat, as well as the upper trapezius and some of the muscles that were holding the clavicle up were really jammed. And all the movement in a pull or a push was coming up off of a forward rotation. So now that we've built more of that hip stability, what we're doing is we're getting the shoulder complex to come back into a more neutral position, and therefore we're working on something called scapular stacking, where we really want the scapula to stack and stabilize and hold itself on the back before the arm moves, because the scapula is basically the core structure control of the arm and shoulder. So if the scapula is back and stabilized, when you move the arm, you're not going to impinge it on some of the structure that's here in the front of the shoulder. Whereas if you're rounded and the scapula isn't stable, when you move, you have the ability to take your humerus and impinge it, the supraspinatus tendon, along a small little bone up here. So what we're doing is we're getting that scapula to stay back, stabilize, then the arm motion, no matter what it is, has a base of support and control, and that's when we truly get an impingement to stop. Some of the bigger things are, now that we have a lot more sagittal or forward stability, we need to really work on lateral stability as well as rotational stability. The hip and the hip complex and how it's stabilizing with the spine, it's one thing to, okay, be able to come up and stabilize forward, but when the rotation system or the lateral shifting system isn't stable, then you're not going to be able to stabilize anything in the upper body as well. So we are now moving we're moving out of more of the sagittal based stuff or forward based exercise stuff and moving more into lateral forms of functional training, making sure that the obliques are working, making sure that the glute on one side and the oblique on the other side can stabilize and support cross rotation at the same time as alternate movements. Because that's where people truly get hurt, is when they could be really strong in one range of motion, but they're not working additional ranges of motion and understanding what other types of things need to stabilize in that.
This week I have been working really closely with my physical therapist on all those rehab things, and I feel like I've said that for like the last couple of episodes, but it's very true. We have been going each week doing one dedicated workout at the gym with her so she can watch me as I'm doing it. But this has me kind of a little bit different on my diet. I am trying to get more calories in now because we are doing some more heavy lifting outside of my workouts with her. So I am trying to get back to that 4,500 calories. I'd say I'm probably somewhere around 4,200 calories. I definitely need to get that up. But I'm eating a lot of foods that have lots of rice and lots of potato and lots of pasta portions, just so that I can get these huge amounts of carbs in. So that ends up being any sort of a different plethora of dishes. Sometimes I'll go out to Chipotle to fill out like 1,300 calories at once, and then usually I'll be making meals like this one, which is tempeh with a little bit of some orange sauce on top of it, with some rice and broccoli and spinach, except usually the portions are a lot bigger than this one. This one I ran out of food while I was cooking it. But yeah, working my way back up to 4,500 calories, and then we will be working our way past that as we go. We're gonna make it happen, I swear. Give me a second. Give me some time. We're gonna be at 5,000 calories.
So we have been working to get me to be able to do different movements and different types of exercises for my back and my chest. This is one that I was doing quite a few months ago and it wasn't too bad, but eventually it ended up giving me shoulder pain. So I'm finally getting back to this one, which I'm really excited about. And in this specific workout, this didn't hurt at all. I was feeling really strong. I was able to really connect with my chest. And like she was saying earlier, I was able to pack my scapula before I was actually doing the press. That's probably the most important thing that I'm trying to think about while doing any sort of a pushing movement now, is to stack my scapula before pressing.
So how do I feel about the last 2 weeks? Good. I feel like we've made a lot of progress. While I know that watching this, it may be a little bit more difficult to see the progress that is made, because usually we're just expecting to see visual changes, bigger muscles, more weight, more weight, more weight. But I have been able to do exercise that I haven't been able to do for 2 or 3 years, especially in the last 2 weeks. I've been deadlifting with 225 pounds. I'm doing a specific type of form to get used to doing it in the correct way. Then we'll move up in weights on that. Dumbbell benching like crazy. Been using all sorts of chest exercises and machines that I haven't been able to use for a really long time. Tomorrow I'm going in to do a barbell bench workout with the physical therapist so she can actually see how I'm doing it, correct my form on the spot. And so all that stuff is extremely exciting for me, just to be able to do things I haven't been able to do before. But I feel like my physique is looking thicker. My delts definitely got more size, which is an area, a weak point that I was really trying to bring up. I've been able to do lateral raises and some extra shoulder work that I haven't been able to do in a couple of years, like I've been saying. But I feel like my shoulders have gained a lot of size. While I will say that the rest of my body, it seems to have not lost size, but it doesn't seem like it's gaining too much size in the last 2 weeks in terms of like my back, my chest, my quads, etc., the big muscles, just simply because we've been spending so much time on getting into these new movements like benching and deadlifting and squatting and stuff like that. We haven't quite put in as much effort into just blasting the heavy weight, which hopefully is going to be something that we can do in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Get back into lifting super heavy weights and concentrate on moving that up for the progression. But I'm feeling good. My lifts are feeling good. My physique, I feel like, is looking good. I'm excited. We just hit 200,000 subscribers, which I got so much love for. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. You're amazing. But I'm signing off for now. I'm about to go to the gym and we're going to see what we can make happen by the next episode of Resurrecting Hercules.